Magnificent trees. Hey guys, how are you going? Well, this is an amazing spot. All beautiful down through there. Rightio, so this is part 2 to the all new Honda CB750 Hornet. Today I'm going to talk more about the tech side of things on this bike. Episode 1 was all about just the general aesthetics, the general sort of information about the bike. Yeah, so you all know, as I explained to you, it's 190 kilos, 92 horsepower, 75 newton meters of torque, 795 millimeter seat height for the shorter folk, 15.2 litre fuel tank. Such a good bike. So what I'm going to do today is quickly just do the tech side of things and explain to you. I've had to find somewhere in the shade because it's really hot today. It's like 30 degrees Celsius and it's only like about 4 weeks outside of winter. Unheard of here. Oh, that wasn't very good, was it? Pushed dust all over it. Alright, so what I'm going to do basically is quickly just show you these buttons. So the buttons are, as you can see here, we've got mode button, and that changes the power modes. It has 4 modes, this bike, which I'll show you in a minute. Horn indicators, we've got the hazard lights, function, left and right, up and down. On that, that's for your scrolling through your menu system. On here you have your flash to pass, your normal low beam and high beam. Such tactile buttons, they've really got a good feel to them. On this side, kill switch, start button. That's all. So pretty straightforward on that. Now I'll just show you the animation as this starts up. Hopefully you can see this. Hornet. There you go. So that's one of the backgrounds that I have chosen. So you've got, it looks busy, but actually once you get used to it, it actually all makes sense. Okay, so I'll just quickly go through this. You've got the side stand is down warning there. Of course, you've got your fuel gauge here. The trip A, this bike has only done what, 71.5 kilometers. Average consumption is 3.6 litres. I don't know if that's whatever. So we've got 5 litres per 100, which is pretty good. So this is a 15.2 litre tank. So if that was the case, you'd get 300 kilometres out of a tank if you actually pushed it. So the actual total time elapsed of riding this bike is 1 hour and 58 minutes. Okay, so you've got your gear indicator. There you got that. So these are your power. This is all to lay out about your power mode. So in sport, you have full power. You have 1 out of 3 electronic braking settings, 1 out of 3 traction control settings. Now what I'm going to quickly do is I'm just going to press this button here. Now you have to hold it to the right. Keep your finger on it for a few seconds and this settings menu comes across. So this is a 5-inch screen, so it is plenty big enough. So I'm going to go down to the display. So you're going to use this one here. Press down, goes down, press to your right. Display type, press to your right again. So I'm in type 4, type 3, type 2, type 1. This is how that one came from the factory, was type 1. So I'm actually going to put it in type 2. Let's go to type 2. Okay, then you push back to the left on the button here, on the jog dial there. Hold it back and it should go back. There you go. So it goes back. I can change the brightness of the display. You have, it's on auto at the moment, but it's got 8 settings or 8 levels. I'm going to go down to the background. I want to change the background. I've got it on auto at the moment. I'm going to go and I'm going to put it on let's put it on black. Okay, you saw it on black. Actually no, I'm going to put it on metallic. Let's put it on metallic. Now unfortunately to see it, I've got to go all the way back. So back, there you go. It's like that sort of aluminium stainless steel sort of finish, and that's the look. That's what they call it, metallic. So same thing again, it's just laid out a little bit differently. Tacho goes up and around, like this, so they're going up and around. Fuel gauge is there now instead of over on the left hand side. All the information across the bottom remains the same. So I'm just going to press the function button to see if it does anything. Nope, doesn't do anything. That's fine. mode. Now mode, this is your mode button right there. I'm currently in sport. You have standard, and of course you can see the power dropped, the electronic braking went up, the traction control went up. Rain mode, so you're full on traction control, power's down to the lowest level, and your electronic braking is on 2. Then you have a user mode, so you can configure, you can have everything full power, no electronic braking, no traction control, that kind of stuff. Back to sport. So I'm finding at riding this bike, unless it's actually raining, you just leave it in sport mode. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to change this background to a black one. Let's go to a black one. Oh, it's not letting me do it now. What's going on? Okay. What have I done? Done something here. Let's have a look. Okay. It's got something to do with that. There we go. Press it to the right. There we go. Because I was actually changing stuff down the bottom. So you can go to, so you've got riding mode, you've got shift point, so it'll actually hit the light illuminates. You can set it to like a shift point, like a shift light. Now you've also got self-cancelling indicators. Go on to that one, shift point, self-cancelling indicators, which is a bit of a cool thing for a bike of this budget. Okay, so self-cancelling indicators, you've got a shift point and you can tell the bike that you want it to let you know when to shift. You've got your riding modes, of course, which we've just been in. What's this one here? Honda. This is like a security system on this bike, so it's like an integrated security system. You can turn it on or off. Okay, I'm just going to go back. So display we've just been through, so you've got the display type, the brightness, the background, favourite information, you can change all that. Then you go to your general, you've got your date and time, the units, whether it be in miles, kilometres, the language. Obviously you've got your restore to default settings if you're sort of mucked around with it too much. Bluetooth pairing reset, we'll come to that in a second. You've also got your service reminders, maintenance, equipment, DTC, regulatory. It's all to do with the servicing side of things. We won't go too far into depth for that. Go back. So I want to go back up to the Bluetooth. Look, there you go. April 22nd, it's 2:57. It's in the PM. Beautiful. Okay, we'll go back. Units. Language. Look how many languages you got. Heaps. Japanese, English, Russian, French, German. Restore to default. Bluetooth pairing. I can't do this because I don't have a headset. So that's a part of the thing I'm going to go into with you next as well. So I'm going to discuss that just in a second. Let's go back out of that. Your service, we've done that. So now I'm going to go back out into display, brightness, background, metallic. I don't want the metallic. I'm going to go black. Okay, so black, done. Done. There you go. Look at that. How cool is that? And that is really quite, it's very clear. Very clear. Oil, you've got all your power ratios, your gear indicator, clock. Same thing before, but it goes like that. The side stand still there. How cool is that? So I'm just going to start it, eh? Oh, and the tacho comes up in blue. That is sick. That is really cool. Really cool. Okay. Look at that clutch. So light, slipper assist clutch. And it's got a really good feel. It's actually really it's actually a good clutch. I mean, if you'd watched my videos before, I had a 2020 Triumph Street Triple R slipper assist clutch, and it had nowhere near the feel this bike's got. This is an amazing feeling clutch for a slipper assist. Anyway, okay, so what I'm going to talk about in a second is the bike also has what they call Honda smartphone pairing system. So what you can basically do with your, if you have the bike, of course, you've got your phone, whether it be, I think, either Android or Apple. You do need, however, you do need a headset like a Senna, Cardo, Pack Talk, anything like that sort of thing. And you have the 3 items, and you can actually pair your bike and your phone together and have voice commands. That's right. I mean, this bike has got so much tech. So much tech. So you can add a quick shifter to this bike, right? So in some countries, I'm pretty sure it comes as a standard sort of item. So the quick shifter obviously goes there. Then you've got in the menu, I'm pretty sure we couldn't see it because it wasn't actually fitted. You've actually got settings of the sensitivity of the quick shifter. I'm not sure, forgive me if I'm incorrect here, but I think it's like 3 settings. In the bigger bikes that Honda make, there's more, but I think this one it's 3. So the quick shifter can be fitted. Tell you what, the tech on this bike in this country, for what you're getting, sells, right? Check this out, right? This is why it's a winner. This bike, all the stuff I've just showed you in episode 1 and this episode, right? All the stuff I've showed you, this bike in Perth, Western Australia, check your local dealers in different states in Australia. There could be different pricing involved for different registrations and stuff like that, but it is 12,990 on road. Australian dollars, 12,990 on road. Can you believe this? I can't believe it either. This thing is an absolute peach. An absolute peach. 12,990 on road. You know what I mean? Like you're getting a parallel twin, a brand new motor that Honda has just designed, which will also be coming out in another model in the second quarter of this year for Australia, third quarter, somewhere around there, called the Honda Transalp 750, which is going to be like a adventure touring type bike. Man, they're going to do a lot with this motor, I can tell you. This bike is unbelievable. Okay, so there's a couple other, there is some options for this bike as well. So there's some options for the bike. So what when I say about options is it's visual options. So they do a couple of different packs. You can actually buy the entire pack or piece by piece and do the bike up as you see fit in your own sort of in your own way, your own touch. Okay, so they do a sport pack. So there's 3 packs. There's a sport pack, a style pack, and a tour pack. All right, so with the tour pack, that's exactly what it says. You get panniers, all right? You get panniers, a tail bag, a really big tail bag, and a tank bag. All right, so you get all the stuff for storage. I really think you could actually tour on this bike and get away with it because you're going to get really good fuel economy. It's a comfortable bike to ride. What more would you want? It's light, it's flickable. The style pack is a little bit different. The style pack from memory has, I think it was, so many things you can buy for this thing. The style pack has, I think it's rim tape. It says Hornet, it goes on your rims. It has bar-end, like a red anodized bar-end weights. You get red anodized crash knobs. I think that's it. There could be something else with that pack. I think there could be like a small windscreen. You've also got a sport pack, and in the sport pack you get a seat cowl. Okay, seat cowl there, matching seat cowl in black with the red sort of highlights on it. You also get the windscreen. I think the windscreen's off the sport pack. You get the quick shifter. What else? There's a couple of other things. Oh, and you get a tank pad. So sorry, the tank pad for the Hornet is in the style pack from memory. So the sport pack gets you the seat cowl, it gets you the windscreen, it gets you the quick shifter. I'm buggered if I can't remember the other thing. There's one more thing, but I can't remember it. Okay, oh yes, you can actually get a bracket that goes on the back there for a paddock stands. Yep, so there's lots of things for it, absolutely lots of things. However, there is one thing, I'm stepping on sticks here, there is one thing that this bike does not come with, and I've not seen it in the add-on accessories for the Hornet. But that is, as you can see here, this is a dry day. This is probably the only thing that's going to let this bike down, if anything. There is no rear hugger. And I'll tell you what, I cannot see any screws or mounting setups. I mean, it is quite possible it could go there. There's a bolt just there, if you can see, just in here. For a rear hugger, there's nowhere for a rear hugger to go. But you know, this bike is built to a budget, so you've got to sort of miss out on things, I guess. But you can add these things. I'm sure in the very near future someone will come up with a rear hugger for it, because I think I'm riding around the dry, and that's getting a bit dirty already, a bit of sand in there. It's on the spring and on the back of the ProLink swing arm there, so that's a ProLink. Yes, so there you go. So all that tech. So you've got 4 rider modes. You've got user, you've got sport, standard and rain, so that's pretty good. You've got smartphone pairing to the bike. You've got that. You can change the dash. You've got 3 colours. You've got white, black and metallic with 4 background layouts. It's a 5-inch screen. It's as clear as clear. I'm really surprised it is so clear. I really hope that this camera's done it some justice. You've got obviously the Honda integrated security system. You've got all of your bits and pieces you need, like your fuel, your trips, you know, trip A, trip B, there's another few bikes up there. Trip A, trip B, you've got your traction control, you've got all those types of things, your ABS, so you can ride this bike with confidence. I really think the quick shifter would have been a good item if Honda actually had them on the bike for some more tech. Yeah, it's a pretty impressive little bike. It really is. It's so compact, it's so light that the steering geometry of this bike is just turn, and yet the faster you go, it seems to like just sort of plane out. It's like I don't know, what would you call it, speed dependent steering without having a steering damper. It's quite astounding, really. So there you go. So I might just draw part 2 to an end. Once again, guys, if you have any questions regarding the dash and the layout and all the electronics on this bike, feel free to leave your comments or questions in the comment section below. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell icon. You'll be notified when I load content. Yeah, so feedback, guys, give me some feedback. So part 1 was to do with the ergonomics and the sort of basic sort of information about the bike. This part was to do with the electronics and the dash and all the riding aids and stuff like that. Part 3 is probably going to be just a ride and just a general sort of conclusion of what I think of the bike. So far I'm really liking this bike. So nice to ride. It's got that that sort of parallel sort of rumble to it, because it's got a 270 degree sort of offset firing order. It's got some character. It's got some real character. I'll tell you what, a really nice pipe on this. Man, this thing will sound sweet. It will sound sweet. So there you go. That concludes part 2, or episode 2 if you want to call it, of this bike. I still can't get over they actually give you a radiator guard. I keep looking at that and going, finally. So for all you other manufacturers out there, take note. And for all you other reviewers out there, not one of you has actually said anything about a radiator guard has been included on this bike. Not one of you. And you should say that. You've got to save yourself a couple $100 in most cases. So well, there you go, guys. What do you think? Let me know below. I'll end it here before you get too bored. Look out for part 3, the conclusion of this bike. There's a few bikes around, I can hear them. And yeah, and once I've sort of uploaded part 1 today, part 2 will, part 2 today, part 1 was yesterday, part 3 will be tomorrow, so that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Please just tune in for all 3. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. We'll leave it right there, and we'll see you for part 3 on the next day. Bye for now.